good. I get here cause you ain't so bad. I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo. Every day is payday. Swipe my card and I do it late day. You talking to a late date. I wanna Kanye, yeah, not the right day. So that's a no-no. I'ma make that and you survive. This convo be like Dre, ay. I already know what you're trying to say. Boss, Michelle Obama, I'm so happy get no brothers. Boss, Michelle Obama, I'm so happy get no brothers. Michelle Obama, I'm so happy get no brothers. Michelle Obama, I'm so happy get no brothers.
What's up, Dolan? I can't hear you. What's up, Dolan? So, I'm so excited to be back. I consider this school my home. Hey, how are you? I consider Dolan to be my home. Actually, when I came to Dolan earlier on, this is where I started Harmony Nation. This was one of the first schools that I came to present my program. So when I'm coming here today, we're talking about a very, very important situation. You've been learning about it today, but Principal Charmaine wanted me to come in, and I need to bring a little bit more of a raw or real kind of look about the situation. I want to talk about myself. And as it can be a little difficult for me, I feel it's worth it if it can help some of you. So you can see that I'm not your average size for a man. And growing up, that was the main thing that I got bullied for. And the reason why I'm this way, and I think a lot of people want to know, is I was born with jaundice. And it was an acute case of jaundice, and it stunted my growth hormone. So at a certain age, I just gradually stopped growing. And my mother she felt very, very responsible. And I remember, I'm a Christian and we would go to church a lot, and she would have people pray for me and all these different things. And I would hear her crying about me, Lord, please help my son to be okay. But all the time, I was, because my story is important and I'm here with you. So as I went through school, I did get bullied, but I also had friends that were with me. But as I started moving forward, people started noticing that I had something to offer. And one of the things is I love to dance. And I started dancing, and I moved to Los Angeles, and I said, I want to go and I want to dance. That's my dream. But because of my height, I would go to auditions, and I would always get cut because they may be wanting to hire 3 guys and 3 girls, and usually that would mean that there's partnering, the guys are going to be lifting the girls, and I didn't fit that. But there was one person, Paul Abdul, and I don't know if you guys know who Paul Abdul is, because now, back in our day, she was a recording artist, but she hired me for my very first video, and it was called Knocked Out. And right from that point, my career catapulted, and I was able to do a lot of popular jobs. But in doing that, and then I had my self-esteem, and then I was dancing, and I was working a lot, but this is the part that doesn't make me very comfortable, because I have to tell you that once I made it into the elite group of the dancers in Los Angeles, I kind of became a bully, because I was a part of a group that was working with Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson and touring the world. I kind of looked down on some of the dancers that didn't do that. And here I am being mistreated as a child, and me being bullied. I turned around and did the same thing. And that's what I want you guys to take from today, is that you may have messed up and done it, but you can change today. You can make an effort today to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I don't care if your friends are telling you to do it. I don't care if you want to be in a certain group. You are going to get more freedom by standing strong alone. And when I realized that I was doing what I was doing, some cases I didn't go back and apologize, and I still deal with that. Some cases I went back and I apologized. But I want to let you know that bullying is getting bigger because of technology and things. I just want to get from you a promise that you're going to make an effort to console someone that could possibly be bullied. If you're in a group that is getting ready to bully someone, you're going to step away from that group. Or you will stop being a single bully yourself. Do you think I can get a show of hands that's going to try to do that? That is awesome. That's really good. So another part, when I was at my lowest point, and I was very unhappy, and I was very sad because of people calling me midget, dwarf, like all these horrible names. And actually, on the other side of that, younger children, if I'm in a store, you know, children, smaller children, they're innocent. So they call it as they see it. So they'll say, look, mommy, a little man. And I can't be upset at them for saying the truth, but it takes me back to that time. And so I'm telling you that because when you're bullied, it never really goes away. There's always that reminder. But now that I'm more comfortable in my skin, I'll go to that child and say, yeah, I am a little man. I am. So I also want to speak to you about, and this is kind of uncomfortable also, suicide. Kids that are bullied, some in our community, have been taking their lives because they don't want to go to school, because they're not accepted in a group, because somebody continues. Excuse me, I'm talking in the front, no speaking. I want you to hear this. Because someone physically bullied them, because they get mistreated, they actually go through the process of wanting to take their lives. Now, I see bright, familiar, comfortable faces. I see intelligence. And I really desperately want you to take away something from today that you help someone. Because I see strength when I look in this audience. I see strength. I see our future. You're the future presidents and CEOs of big companies. But in order to do that, we have to focus now as we move forward. I think there's room in this world for everybody. Everybody should be able to be comfortable in this world because they are who they are. I am who I am, and I found comfortability. And another thing that I wanted to bring up is there was a lot of people that came to me and said, Jimmy, it's okay. They actually stood up for me, they fought for me, they protected me. So just as much as I was bullied, there were people like you that came to my aid. So I want to encourage you to continue doing that. But I want you to also know that there's room for everybody here. And so me and my Harmony Nation crew, we want to bring to you a scene called I Am Who I Am. Let's welcome them with a hand.
Outcast. That's all anyone ever saw me as. Because I acted different, and I looked different, and I spoke differently. So they treated me differently. No one would sit with me at lunch. No one would hang out with me after school. and it sucked, and I thought it was my fault for being different, and I wasn't comfortable with who I was. Until one friend came along and taught me that it's okay to be who I am and to accept myself. And that's when I learned that I am who I am.
Inner strength, something that I kept holding back. I was bullied by a kid who made my life miserable. He would throw things at me, he would push me. I was terrified. Even the friends that I had at the time would not stick up for me. But then I realized that I didn't care what he was saying to me. I realized that I could get through it, and because of that, I am who I am.
Dejected, standing alone thinking there was no hope, and letting people's actions get the best of me, until someone came along and told me that everything would be alright, and not to worry about what anyone else had to say. Because of that, I am who I am.
Non-judgmental. I don't have a bullying story, but I know many people that do. People can get judged by the way they act or the way they look, and that can be very negative. I believe people are perfect no matter what they look like, and there's good in everybody, because I am who I am.
A friend was something that I always try to be. I know it can be so hard to be the victim, but it's also so tough to watch what's going on, and I've been in a position many times before. Watching people get bullied, I knew that I couldn't just stand there. I had to stand up for them, and that's what I did. It can be scary, but I do because I am who I am.
I
am who I am. I am who I am. I am who I am. I am who I am.
Good job, you guys. So, I want to kind of move through the scenes, but do you see kind of how everybody has a different story? So, I want you to embrace what your story is. I want you to embrace who you are, and that whatever difference that you have, like right now, I see people find the weirdest things to bully about, like you wear glasses, or you're a certain height, or you wear a type of clothes, or you come from a certain community. People find to me, the craziest things to bully, but it is becoming a reality. So if you do have something that is different about yourself, embrace who you are. And if someone comes to you and they do say some hurtful words, take a deep breath and say, that's okay, I'm sorry you don't like what you see. Once you do something like that, it defaces or it diminishes the power that they think they're going to get. Because when they do that, they're thinking you're going to cower and be like, don't. But if you say, so what, I'm short, I'm happy with myself, it will be a different situation. And we have to remember that the bullier has a self-esteem issue. They don't feel good inside themselves, so they have to look somewhere else, belittle someone to make themselves feel valid. So I want us to think as we move forward, as we took the vow earlier, if that does happen to you, or if you see something happening to someone, you can say, that's okay, so what, I wear glasses. So what if I live there? I'm happy. So I really want you to hold on to that. I want to move on to our next scene. Actually, no, I don't. I want to move on to a personal story because I added this in the last couple of rehearsals because I think you need to hear from a teen. So I want to bring one of our cast members. Her name is Frankie Mullen, and I want to bring her out to speak to you. Let's give her a hand.
Hi guys, I'm Frankie, like Jimmy said, but I just wanted you guys to know that this isn't something you take for granted. This is a very serious matter, and it happens everywhere, no matter what. I was bullied much younger than you guys. I was bullied in 3rd grade by not only one girl, but